Yeah, what's going on, people? It's your boy Gunnar Habs, and Arsenal into the final 10 games of the season. I'm here to break it down how the season has gone from near enough being perfect to what nobody expected. Arsenal sitting at the top with 10 games to go, clear by 8 points. Let's have a look back on some of the games this season, have a chat about it, where my beliefs started to grow that this team was special and that it was going to go for the league title, and some of the impressive games which we have certainly annihilated certain teams, and where the confidence and the mindset of the team has changed, in my opinion. Let's go into it. So, first of all, I want to talk about pre-season. I remember in pre-season when we first saw Jesus and Saliba and Zinchenko in this team, and we battered Chelsea in America 4-0. That game, I remember watching it, and I thought, wow, we're onto something here. We might have a good season. And then a lot of fans, and when Arsenal, majority of Arsenal fans were feeling hyped after watching that game, and then we was very confident going into the season, and then after that game we played Sevilla in another friendly, demolished them 6-0, and then we was really hyped. And then a lot of other fan bases were saying it's only pre-season, it's only pre-season. So we got into the season, first game, we were the first team playing live on Sky Sports, under the lights, Friday night. They wanted us to fail. But guess what? We came out with a solid performance, 2-0. Gabriel Martinelli scored for us, and then an own goal. And that was the perfect start. We got to see Saliba looked immense. We was excited. As Arsenal fans, we was gassed. But a lot of opposition on rivals were obviously downplaying how our team looked, but we didn't care. We cared about our team the way they looked. And then they followed that up with first game at home against Leicester, 4-2, demolished them. We played some outstanding football. I remember Jesus that day, he scored 2, but he could have had 4, missed some good opportunities. Then we went away to Bournemouth, 3-0, comfortable. Saliba scored a banger. The momentum and the excitement was building up, and surprisingly not as well, with the way we was playing some scintillating football. Then we had our first bitter test of the season, where in any of those games we hadn't gone behind, and the narrative was again, when Arsenal concede a goal first, what would they be like? So we played Fulham. Gabriel made a mistake. We played Fulham at home. Gabriel made a mistake. Fulham went 1-0 up. No problems. We come back into it. 2-1. Gabriel, last 5 minutes, scores, redeems himself. Great. We was buzzing. Then we beat Aston Villa to go 5 games at the start of the season without a defeat, sitting top of the table. But all the critics, all the narrative was Arsenal haven't played anyone serious yet. Arsenal, our next game was going to be Man United away. Wait until Arsenal play. We went to Man United away. I thought we played well. Didn't deserve to lose. We lost, had a goal wrongly disallowed for a foul, which never was, which later on the Premier League came out 4 months later saying they shouldn't have disallowed that goal. But that was it. The narrative was set. Everybody was jumping out, all the haters was jumping out of their woodwork, saying, there you go, that's the Arsenal. When they play someone serious, now that they're going to crumble. But what happened? We went to Brentford away, who's a tough team. Not many teams win at Brentford. They gave us a problem the season before, first game of the season. They beat us. We went there and we demolished them. 3-0, walk in the park. Lovely jubbly. Got back on the bandwagon. Then we had the North London derby at home. Everybody was saying October is the month where Arsenal crumble because they have some tough games in October. And at the start of October, we had the old nemesis, Tottenham, come to the Emirates, demolish them. 3-1, comfortable, easy, play some outstanding football. Next game was Liverpool on the 9th of October. And from personally, this is the game that made me think we're going to win the league. This is when I believed. My belief was born on the 9th of October 2022 that Arsenal will be league champions. It was against Liverpool at the Emirates, and we started out like a house on fire. Bam! Within a minute, we scored. Gabriel Martinelli, great start to the game. Fair play to Liverpool. They got back in it. Nunes was a handful that day. I remember he played well. I remember Diaz was playing well as well. But the masterstroke in that game was the fact that Arteta played Tomiyasu left back and he pocketed Salah. Pocketed Mohamed Salah out of the game. A star boy stood up. We scored 2 goals, 1-3-2. It was jubilant. But the reason I believed after that game was the simple fact that we was playing good football throughout the whole season, and it was looking like a sustainable football. I liked what we was doing. I could see the patterns of play. I can see players were playing to really good levels. Jesus had changed us, and Saka was starting to play on form. Martinelli, same thing. But the thing was, the thing that pushed me over the edge was the fact that we hadn't beaten Liverpool for a while. Because I was looking for that mentality thing. I knew these players could play, but it was all about the mentality when you play, especially after the Man United game and getting questioned against the bigger teams. It was like after the Man United game, do we still have the mentality against the big teams? Is it going to suffer us? But obviously we followed up the Man United game with a couple of victories, and then Liverpool, who we haven't beaten in a while. Let's be real, they have been battering us in recent years. So to win that game, mentality-wise, that's when I thought, yes, we've got over that hurdle. These players know they can beat them now. So boom, we won that game. Then we went away to Leeds, where we had a disastrous second half. They battered us, but you know what? We did what champions do. We came away with the 3 points when we didn't deserve it. Then we had a game away to Southampton, which was disgusting refereeing. We should have had about 3 penalties, but it wasn't to be. We drew 1-1. We up and move. Then we had a game against Nottingham Forest. Took care of it. 5-0. 5 beautiful goals. Reece Nelson, I remember coming on, scoring 2, contributing. And then we went away to Chelsea. How I loved this victory, because this game, it wasn't even a 1-0 game. The fact that we won 1-0, I was disappointed with, because we dominated from minute 1 to the 90th. It was the most comfortablest game I've seen Arsenal ever play against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Easy peasy. We should have won by more, but then we went away to Wolves, which was the last game before the World Cup, before everybody took a break for the World Cup, and we won 2-0 away. We was clear at the top. It was looking good. Then we went into the World. So once the World Cup happened, we've got that bad news that every Arsenal fan don't want to hear. Gabriel Jesus was injured, had surgery on his knee, and he was going to be out for 3 to 4 months. A lot of people were devastated. A lot of the fan base was really down. A lot of people were panicking. The rivals were saying Arsenal's run at the top is finished, because everybody could see what Jesus was doing. He was outstanding. He was, in my opinion, at that stage before the World Cup, he was the player of the season in the league. Then he got the injury, and that's when they all said Arsenal's finished. They're finished. Nketiah can't do it. So we had West Ham at home on Boxing Day, and we won 3-1. Guess what? Nketiah scores. Was the icing on the cake. What we love to see. Then we went away to Brighton. On New Year's Eve. Brighton, who have been one of the teams of the season so far. One of the dark horses. They have been brilliant this season. We went away there, and we swept them away. 4-2. And Nketiah was on the score sheet again. Great result. Then we obviously came into January, and then we had that 0-0 result against Newcastle at home. Again, a game where we didn't perform bad. Obviously, a lot of the narrative was if Arsenal had more on the bench, but this was the beginning of January, so the January window was open, and Arsenal was possibly working on some deals at the time. We weren't to know later on that it was going to be Jorginho and Trossard. But then in January, we went away to Tottenham, the old enemy. We haven't won there since in a while. I can't. God knows how long. We haven't won there in a while. What do? We went out there and put a championship winning performance on that first half. Brushed them aside. Own goal, Lloris. Then Odegaard, comfortable. Get out of there. Then we had Man United at home. The game that I always want to win. Definitely. I hate Man United to the core. That's who my rivals are. I grew up on that. And we win it 3-2. And you know what? What was sweet? We win it in the 90th minute with Nketiah. 2 goals for Nketiah. Your defense is in trouble. So then obviously February was the start of where our wobble started. Obviously, we lost to Everton with a new manager. First game. It had to be us. Why couldn't Lampard stay? No, but it had to be Arsenal. New manager Sean Dyche did the old thing. Bully tactics. Get rough and tough. They score 1-0 from a corner. Game done. We played poor that game. I'm not going to lie. We was shoddy. Again, that's the only second game I can remember us playing poor in. Remember, the other half was against Leeds away. And then we had Brentford at home. Brentford, I'm not going to lie, that game, they played really well. Really well. It was 1-1, but they scored an offside goal. And it is what it is. But obviously, we got a point out of it at the end of the day. Where in other years, or previously, we would have lost that because they were really good that day. Then we had the big one. It was Arsenal, Man City, under the lights, Wednesday, February the 15th. We played really well, but mistakes cost us and we lost 3-1. And that's when everybody was out for Arsenal. Everybody was saying, it's done. 3 games without a win. 1 point out of a possible 9. Arsenal are finished. Man City's now going to run away with it. What did Arsenal do? Next game, away to Aston Villa. Aston Villa go 1 up. Arsenal equalise. Aston Villa go 2-1 up. Arsenal equalise. Arsenal go ahead in the 90th minute with a great strike from Jorginho, the January signing, where a lot of people said it was a rubbish signing. Hits the bar, comes back off Martinez. Sweet, sweet, sweet justice. It goes in off Martinez, of all people who chatted shit about Arsenal. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, mate. 3-2, and then Martinelli seals it. 4-2. What's that? What was that? Was that sign of champions coming back down? Then we went away to Leicester. The most dominant 1-0 performance you will ever likely to see. Again, it should have been more, but we didn't even create too many chances. We were just in control whole game. I think they set a Premier League record, Leicester, with like a 0.0 XG. They had totally no chances. Then we followed it up with Everton at home. This was our game in hand. Everton at home. Slapped them aside. 4-0. Top of the league. And we're still top of the league, coasting. And then we had that dramatic game against Bournemouth at home. Everybody and their dog thought we would win this game comfortably. But they scored after 9 seconds. Bournemouth scored after 9 seconds. And then they went 2-0 up. Arsenal, all credit to them, came back fighting and won it with the last kick of the game with Reece Nelson scoring. That was so sweet. So sweet, the feeling. Then obviously we had Fulham away. Comfortable. Again, dominant. 3-0. Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye. And obviously, last time out, Crystal Palace at home. Bong them. 4-1. And that's how Arsenal's season has been. And in all those games I've broken down, I think there's only about 2 games where we didn't play well enough. So going into this final stretch, I think we've got what it takes. I really do. I cannot see us slipping up from here, losing 3 or 4 games. I think we will beat Leeds on the first game back. Then the tricky one is Liverpool. But you know what? I think we can beat Liverpool there. Obviously, Liverpool have had some serious results this season, but that's another barrier we have to overcome now. because this team, they have been overcoming barriers all season, and now this one is, we haven't won at Anfield in a while, so we have to go and break that duck. This is a new team. They're doing things, so I expect them to go to Liverpool. I can't see how Liverpool are going to handle our attack with the way their defense is being. I know they show up against other teams, but we're the best team in the league. We're no joke. So we're coming there to win, and I think we will win. Anyway, people, I'm going to break that game down closer to the time. But anyway, in the meantime, let me know what you think. Holla at your boy. Subscribe, like. Peace.